Americans have a spending problem. A lot of you watching this video likely have a credit card that you use regularly. We may not even think about it, but the little piece of plastic that we routinely use to buy everything from food to technology is designed for banks and credit card companies to profit. There are two ways that credit card companies make money. They can take a small portion of each transaction as a fee, and they can also charge large interest rates on balances that customers don't pay off. These interest charges are the primary source of revenue for these companies. But just how many people are making interest payments? Every year, the Federal Reserve looks at the economic well-being of U.S. households. In 2019, 83% of adults had at least one credit card, so it's no secret that credit cards are plentiful. 1/4 of these people carried a balance once or some of the time in that year, while another quarter carried a balance most or all of the time. When they carry this balance, people are charged interest on the unpaid balance. The average credit card interest rate is in the 15 to 20% range, a very high rate considering the fact that many people are consistently making interest payments every month. Across the United States, Americans have a combined total of around $1 trillion of credit card debt, averaging about $5,000 for each of the estimated 190 million Americans that have credit cards. But how did it get this way? Credit cards aren't exceptionally difficult to obtain. It was difficult to find an exact figure, but the average American credit card holder likely has around 3 or 4 credit cards. While owning multiple credit cards does not directly cause debt, it makes it much easier for people to dig themselves into a large hole of debt. This debt is often caused by a few simple reasons. One is that credit cards simply allow people to spend more than they make, so a lack of caution can cause them to overspend. Another common possibility is a financial emergency. In 2019, only 63% of adults in the U.S. said that they would cover a surprise $400 expense using cash, savings, or a credit card paid off at the next statement, meaning that the rest would either be unable to pay such an expense or would have to carry over a credit card balance to the next month. Lastly, poor financial literacy is another issue that likely affects many people with credit cards, possibly causing people to simply pay the minimum payment and accrue large interest charges. Credit card debt can be debilitating. Once acquired, many are unable to form a possible path to getting rid of their debt. This can be caused by an emergency expense that one is unable to pay off with their current wages. For others, it may simply be caused by a lifestyle of overspending and will require drastic changes in order to pay off the debt. However, for millions of Americans, they will likely never be out of credit card debt. Many people continue to simply make the minimum payments on their various credit cards, only paying off interest and making minimal progress towards getting out of debt. Credit cards are only one beast in the extraordinary amount of debt that U.S. consumers as a whole have accrued. U.S. consumers have a whopping total of about $14 trillion of debt, consisting of mortgages, auto loans, and student loans in addition to credit cards. While credit cards aren't necessarily inherently evil, they make it very easy for those that are financially irresponsible or who are struggling to make ends meet to dig themselves into a hole that they may never get out of.